Hey everybody, it's me, Mr. Stirrup. I'm in my office here at Cherry Creek High School. There's nobody around, so they've said, hey, I can take off the mask. So I'm welcome to the Epic Medical Careers class at Cherry Creek High School. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we will be online this year, which is much different than what we've done in the past. We won't have a cadaver lab set up for this fall, but we will put together a cadaver lab for you come this spring. So you do not have to pay anything for this class at this point. If you choose to go to the cadaver lab in the spring, I'll get the information once I get information to me from CU School of Medicine, as well as the once the school district has given us permission to have field trips. So I so apologize. This is a different thing, but I put together a bunch of videos from a bunch of medical professionals, a lot of students, former students, and then people I've met over the years of doing this class. So let's go ahead and share this. I'm going to share my screen with you. And I'm actually going to, let me do this. I'm going to stop share so you don't have to look at me while I'm talking. I'm going to stop my video. So that's me skiing many years ago at A Basin. I love the snow, but now I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you and talk you through this. I'm Chris Stirrup. I've taught here at Creek for many years. That's my email address, and that's my cell phone number. So you're always welcome to send me a text if you need to. If you send me a text, I'm not going to save your numbers. Just let me know, this is, Jonathan from the medical careers class or whatever. So I know who I'm actually addressing questions to. Okay. And this is going to have quite a bit of information on it. So just kind of take a look. How did this class start? Well, 13 years ago when I was at Chaparral High School, I was on a committee. It's called School to Careers, and we basically brought in professionals to talk to our kids during like a homeroom time that we had at Chaparral. And I'd asked my doctor if he wanted to come in and speak, and he said no, but his senior partner would. And I met this gentleman named Dr. Pete Baker, who was a gastroenterologist, and we set up a class similar to what they were doing at Arapahoe High School. Arapahoe High School has offered this class since 1975 with using another doctor named Sam Langstaff. Unfortunately, Pete Baker passed away, but I'll go over that in a little bit. But we've been here at Creek doing this class since 2014. I guess this is the 6th year we've offered this class, but I forgot to change that on my slide. No big deal. We've expanded this class to Cherokee Trail, Smoky Hill, Overland, and obviously we have it. And then right now there's basically 6 high schools that have this: Arapahoe, Chaparral, Cherokee Trail, Cherokee Creek, and Smoky Hill, and Overland. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then unfortunately, Dr. Pete Baker passed away this summer after we'd started this here. He showed up to about 95% of the class for about 7 years. And I really wish you all had the opportunity to meet Dr. Baker. Wonderful individual. These are some pictures of Pete Baker. He's the older gentleman in these pictures, and was a very dear friend of mine. We really connected with a lot of students and had a lot of fun putting together what he envisioned as what's great for kids. And I dedicate the class every year to him. And his family's still very much involved with what we do. And I dearly miss my friend. This is basically what the class normally would look like when we're in Shilling Law. We have a doctor presenting and tons of students. This is from our first year we offer the class. So as you can see, we pretty much fill up Shilling Law pretty well. We have anywhere between 80 and 110 kids that take the class every semester. This year we have 85 kids that are now watching online, unfortunately. But one of these days I would love for us to be back to normal. So again, Dr. Pete Baker's vision of this class will continue for many years. I plan on being here for 15 more years, and that's when I would become 65 and I would retire. What to expect from the class? Well, it's online now, and that will change in the future. Not this semester, but for this semester, this is how we have to do it. We will do a field trip, hopefully, to the University of Colorado School of Medicine and be a part of their Cadaver Lab, but that will be postponed until the spring. So when I get information, I will pass information on to you. There's a final exam. It's on Schoology. So you can start it today or whenever the class starts for the semester. But it is something you have to do. You can use any resources you want. You can work on it together. You can use Google as your best friend. And so it's pretty good. And I'll go over costs associated with the class, but we don't have any at this point. So basically, you're going to log on to Schoology and find the medical careers class. And then there's videos that I will have there for you to watch. I actually have it linked to something called Play Pause It, which it looks like 4 rulers put together in a square. So you click on that, it takes you to the video, and in that video there would be some questions, and they're very simple questions. I'm not trying to make tough, but that would allow me to gauge if you watched it or not. Each time you watch a video, it will tell me, and that goes towards 80% of your grade in the class. The other 20% is the final exam, but we'll go over that later. And in the end of each Play Pause It video, there will be a place if you have any questions. And if you don't have any questions, just type no. And that's imperative to know that you need to type no if you have no questions. That way I know you've watched the entire video, and Play Pause It tells Schoology. Schoology tells my grade book. And so then you would get the points for watching the video. Pretty simple. You don't have to have questions each day, or of each presentation. Some people will have questions, some people won't. It's fine if you don't, but if you do have questions, I will submit those questions to the medical staff and have them respond to it. And then I would post it back on Schoology for you to see. So again, the Cadaver Labs, they are a great opportunity. Unfortunately, they are postponed until the spring. I know this class is over in December, but I would be able to get information to you if we had a Cadaver Lab. There's whole field trip forms that we'd have to fill out, but I'm not going to go do that now because we don't know the dates, and I'm not collecting any money from you at this point. Dates and time of the Cadaver Lab, again, I don't have them yet. Hopefully it'll be in the spring. I could take 30 people at a time. You have to provide your own transportation. So you can take the light rail up there, and I will get you maps and stuff like that. Or you could drive your car and park. You have to pay for parking, or you could have somebody drop you off and pick you up. It's going to $40 fee for the class, and I'll explain what that $40 fee goes to. But it's about a 4-hour experience with multiple rotations, and it's a absolutely incredible experience. So even though we wouldn't have the class second semester, I would strongly encourage all of you to think about doing it. And again, I'll get the dates for you once I know. So in the past, the lab has been 5 rotations. There's one rotation that everyone hears, and it talks about obesity, an overview of the class, talks about the lab, allows you to ask questions as a whole in order to know about what you're going to see that day. And then in whatever order you're going to be giving one of these rotations, you'll see all 4 of the rotations. You'll see the cadaver, the specimen, the BMI, and the stitch lab. This is what they've done in the past, and I can't imagine it's going to change too much. Don't panic if you get put into the stitch lab. Don't worry. You'll see the cadaver. You'll see the specimen. You'll see the BMI. You will go all through all the rotations. Just we can't have 30 people all in the cadaver lab at once. It doesn't really, allow you to get a good view of what you're doing. So what we do is basically break down to about 8 students per group, so you can get a really awesome experience. Each one of these, the ABCD rotations, are about 45 minutes in length. And the very first rotation is between 40 minutes to an hour, depending upon questions. Do you have any questions? There will be a place at the end of this Play Pause It video for you to post any questions you might have so far about the class, and I'm happy to answer them, and I would probably have to email you back. So please make sure your email is up to date. And now I'm gonna get into some cadaver pictures. So the top right photo is first year I was doing the medical class. We actually did our Cadaver Lab at Arapahoe Community College, and had a great thing. They're all pointing to a piece of plastic on top of something. There's a human brain in there. If you want to see the human brain in its fullest, bottom right picture. That medical student is holding a brain. There's actually two brains in that picture. And then the bottom left picture is something called a humidor. Inside there is the actual cadaver. A cadaver is a human body. It's somebody who donated their body to science once they passed away. Don't worry, nothing in the Cadaver Lab can harm you. None of these cadavers had expired life by anything infectious, including coronavirus. So please don't feel that you could catch anything from the cadaver. And then all students will wear gloves in the lab. Don't worry, these are gloves that are, they don't have allergies affiliated with them. They're not latex. So no latex allergies to worry about in the lab. This is actually a picture where we are going in and we're exposing the spine of a cadaver. Right now the cadaver is flipped upside down. It's looking downward at the table, and they're opening up the spine. So take a look at how engaged all those students are. Those are all former students of mine. And so they are very much engaged in what they are seeing with the human body. And that's the kind of experience. That's why we don't want 30 people at once in the lab. We want you to be able to experience it. So you are allowed to touch, you are allowed to ask any questions in the lab, and it's just a plethora of knowledge you'll get. These are both pretty unique pictures. We had actually removed the scalp from an individual and took the brain out. So I don't know if my cursor shows up, but this is the top of your spinal cord. In between here is a pituitary gland. And this is the nice region in which our brain rests. And everybody looks a little bit different inside their skull. Notice how thick the skull is on the front. Obviously, you see this person's nose. Here's their ear. This is called the meninge, which is a sac. It's actually a tendon that wraps around the human brain. This particular tendon, we could grab onto it from either side and try and rip it and tear it. You can't do it. It is a really strong piece of our body. This is a young lady. Her name is Lisa Jordan. This is many years ago. She's actually a nurse now, but she's holding a spinal cord. So notice this is up where we connect to the brain. This is down in your lower back. So it becomes like a really stringy as you go down. That's why if you have spinal cord injuries, the lower it is, the less damage and less functioning you would have. So if you were to, do something to your spinal cord way up here, you would have a lot less mobility. If something happened down here, you would have a lot more mobility. So medical pictures and terminology, you're going to see both male and female body parts, depending upon who the doctor and presentation is. You're going to see diseases on all different portions of the body. You're going to hear medical terminology about these parts. All the videos will be on Schoology. So you're going to have to check the class from time to time just to see what videos are there. And I'm trying to make the videos anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour. And I'm right now in the process of lining people up. I will not, even when school starts, I won't have all the videos up yet because it takes time to do these videos, and it takes time for me to get them all compressed and put onto Play Pause It, which is linked to our Schoology. So watch these videos. There is a place during each of the videos that will allow you to plug in questions that you might have. I know we're kind of in the way, but be sure your Power School information is up to date. I will only send emails to your school email address, or if your parents are linked to that, I would send that to their email address. I won't send to an email address that is not linked to PowerSchool, and that's for your safety, my friends. It's not something that it's my choice. It's basically for the safety of students, which I firmly believe in. Days of no class. Sorry, folks. Snow days means there's still videos put on there. So we will have class there. We will have videos available. You don't have to go on to Schoology at any specific time. You watch those videos when it works best for your schedule, and gain as much as you'd like out of those videos. They're pretty incredible. So you have a final exam that's going to be on Schoology. It basically starts with the first day of class. You can start it, pause it, go back to it, work on it a little at a time, work on it with each other, work on it with your computer, work on it with Google. Your choice. You choose how you want to get that video or get that final exam. And that's worth 20% of our semester grade. So please, by all means, it starts whenever you're ready to start it. You can pause it, come back to it. So you can do a little at a time. You don't have to sit there and say, okay, I'm going to dedicate 2 hours to this and do it. You could just say, I'm going to answer 2 questions a week, and by the end of the semester, you should be completely done. And again, you can work on it with each other. I do have all the questions in randomized order, and the multiple choice answers, they come up randomly. So if you're working on problem number 1, that might be your best friend's problem number 7. And if you said, well, my problem number 1 has an answer of A, problem number 7 might actually have the right answer if it's the same question of C or something like that. How do we raise money for the year? There'll be a $40 fee. I will not collect that until we go to the Cadaver Lab. And again, the Cadaver Lab, I usually make it mandatory for kids because I want you to go. I would love you all to go. I realize it's in spring, so in springtime you might not be thinking about the medical class at all. But again, I will let you know of any information about the Cadaver Lab. But the $40 goes in 2 parts. One portion of that goes to buy, this year we bought nice water bottles for the medical presenters. And probably continue to do something like that. Let me know in person, if you need, send me an email or come talk to me in my office if we're at school, if you have a hardship to pay this. But again, there's nothing to pay at this point. You wouldn't pay until you went to the Cadaver Lab itself. Again, who am I? I'm a 24th year math teacher. I've taught medical careers now for 13 years. At Chaparral, we started it, and then I came here, and this will be our 6th year over here at Cherry Creek High School. My office is West 548A, and so it's in the pit of the West building. And my office phone number is there. You also have my cell number I'd given you originally on this first slide, so take a look at it. Dad and husband, this was a couple years ago. My family and I, we went skiing. We ski often, but this is up at Monarch Ski Resort. My wife is a college professor at CU Denver. She teaches chemistry for engineers. My daughter Leah is actually right now a freshman at Nebraska, University of Nebraska in Lincoln. My younger daughter is going to be a junior at Arapahoe High School. So this is many years ago, so they were a lot littler here. I'm also a rock star wannabe. This is me performing Kiss in front of Chaparral High School, and I actually had center stage, second row center stage, and meet and greet backstage, and I got to meet the band, so that was fantastic. That was a few years ago. We even created a band here. We called it the Bruins Brothers. So it was a lot of the teachers that we work with. So we've done numerous songs. We usually do 1 or 2 songs a year and perform for you guys at the talent shows or assemblies and things like that. Then we called ourselves one year the Greenwood Village People, and we did YMCA. But the Bruins Brothers is basically what we've stayed with, and it's been a lot of fun. It's a much different thing for us. I know the guys that I play with are true musicians, and they are stuck with me as their lead man that sings off key. As my dad used to say when he used to sing in the church choir, he sings solo. And I was like, you don't sing by yourself? And he goes, no, I sing so low so no one can hear me. But just kind of a silly. So obviously you guys want to earn an A in the class. Watch the videos. I will know if you watch the videos because in those videos, there's play, pause it. It's posted on play, pause it. There are questions that you have to ask before the video continues. And they're simple questions. I'm not asking you huge medical terminology, but I just want to make sure you're watching the videos. And then the final exam, you have the entire semester to work on it. It's worth 20% of your grade. So it's pretty simple to get an A in this class as long as you watch the videos and you do the final. And again, that $40 fee, you do not need to pay this at this point. If you choose to go to the Cadaver Lab in the spring, I will take a check made out of Cherry Creek High School or cash for the Cadaver Lab. And we do have some partners of the class. We have parents and partners. Copic is a medical malpractice insurance company for most of our medical staff. They've donated money to us. The PTCSO has donated money. And our Cherry Creek High School Foundation has also donated money to us for this class to make it work. So there's, certain fees that you don't necessarily see. All of my doctors who come in, they do not receive payment to come in. They come in on their free will. They've done the videos on their free will. I do not need to pay them, but I do give them a small gift, and this is usually a water bottle. Normally we have thank you letters that you would write, but this year I'm not going to worry about the thank you letters because one, I don't want to necessarily pick anything up from you guys, just in case it has something on it like COVID, and until we get something in place to mitigate this disease. This is how we'll be doing things. And yeah, nice little thing. Some of my big sponsors for the class that have really been involved in this has come from a lot of my doctors and other organizations. And then the larger picture of the class, this hopefully will get you a connection outside of high school. We do have a Facebook page. If you have Facebook, please join us on Facebook. You don't have to do it now. You can do it at a later date. But I have former students that are in there. I have medical staff that are a part of it. So who knows, you might be able to shadow or gain hours, and who knows, you might even find possibilities of employment in the future, which is really pretty cool. That's an old picture of what the Facebook page looks like. So if you get the opportunity, find us on Facebook. It's just called the Pre-Medical Class at Cherry Creek High School. And it's a group on Facebook. In closing, this class is online this fall. I'm so sorry. I wanted to be in Shillinglaw with all of you. I wanted you to hear things because, boy, some of these videos and some of the presentations, they will make you feel a little uneasy. And it's always kind of fun when you have 80 people or 100 people in a class and you watch somebody feel uneasy. I've had students who have passed out during medical presentations. I've had them pass out at the Cadaver Lab as well, because you have no idea really what you're walking into. And again, the money, it's $4 initial fee. I will not be collecting this unless you go to the Cadaver Lab. Then I will collect your fee when you go to the Cadaver Lab, and that will be in the spring. And then, please join us on Facebook if you choose to. And then there'll be a spot here on Play Pause It for you to ask any questions that you might have about the class. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope this is all right. Get your masks on. Get it on there. And be safe out there. Yeah, my wife made a bunch of these. So, hopefully they're making us safe. Of course, the people who know way more than me say they're safe. So that's what we have. Take care of one another. Have a great day and a great semester.